This is the Improve and Have Fun podcast, where I'm improving myself, having fun along the way with the hopes of encouraging you to do the same. At work, I feel managers, who often have too much on their plates, come down on the subordinates harshly. At times, not always. The subordinates, my peers, often have a victim mentality and don't take ownership of issues. I too am guilty of this. After a nap, an idea came to me. Making a mistake journal. Writing down all the mistakes where I was painfully admonished, those tend to stay with me. Mistakes are excellent tools to learn and opportunities to grow. Writing things down and rereading them help reinforce lessons learned, for me anyway, but I implore you to try this and see if it helps. I'm not purposely making mistakes. I'm afraid of making them. Reframing my mindset, mistakes can possibly be inviting, a happy situation, something to look forward to. I would hope to say to myself, this is exciting, I messed up, but now I'm going to learn something new, I'm going to grow here. Once again, I'm not looking to make mistakes, but if I see it as an opportunity, as a positive thing, then mistakes won't feel internally so bad. The same can be said for situations which are bothersome. I was listening to a recent episode of the Ask Gary V show where John Legend was his guest. He had a caller, an independent musician who was asking questions about coming up in the music industry, but continued to interrupt John Legend while he was giving him advice. And I found this super annoying. I thought, dude, you're on the ground level. This multi-award-winning platinum-selling artist is giving you advice. Shut up and listen. I've been that guy before, the guy who interrupts every time like somebody who is a lot more experienced is trying to teach me something. I've been that guy. I loved Gary's response, though. I thought he would cut the caller off, but I felt Mr. Vanyerchuk's accepted getting annoyed and bothered and saw it as a challenge. An example he can share with his audience. Here was his answer to this caller.
Then you're stuck and you lost like everybody else. You need to figure it out. Like Prince was a janitor in his studio, and the quality
cheap
now.
To make music now, like the money should not be a problem.
Jemai, listen, man.
It's really cheap to make music.
I love you, and I'm trying to be kind because John's here. Everything you're saying is backwards. You need to do and work. You're coming up with all the wrong angles, in my opinion, and I'm so pumped you called because I'm hoping that this is the breakthrough moment. Like you need to. So far, I heard it's the audience's fault. It's too far to the left. The music's too expensive. You are fully in excuse mode. You can put out plenty of quality music. To John's point, it's inexpensive. And if you want it so bad, go fucking work at the studio in exchange for studio time. Like you need to go out and put out music, put in the work, put your head down, and then figure it out after the fact. You need to put out 150 fucking songs and see how people react to it before we hear another phone call from you.
I have also found that when I feel hurt, frustrated, alone, rejected, I'm inspired to create. Stories, poems, maybe blog or vlog material. Here are 2 stories I've written which were born from these feelings. This one here, which is going to be a link which I'll click to on the show notes for this episode. You can see that on the blog at improveandhavefun.com. This one here was inspired by a girl I really liked at the time, but she wasn't giving me the attention that I wanted and she blew me off. And this other story I wrote was motivated by a work supervisor who frustrated me to no end. I would spend hours thinking about how he took me from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. One of the many things I would think is, what does that say about me? We presently still work together. It doesn't affect me as much, but there are occasions, there are flare-ups for sure. And here's a link to that story that I wrote inspired by the supervisor. Once again, everything is content. The Real Brian Show podcast, like I'm always listening to podcasts. I love listening to podcasts. That's where I get content for my own podcast. Episode number 40, he interviewed a woman by the name of Mabel Rodriguez. Related takeaways from this episode and how I interpreted them was, number one, beating ourselves up is counterproductive. Number two, we are our biggest support group and our greatest critics. Everything ends and begins with us. And number three is, once we begin our internal speech to ourselves to be better, to continue, we will be in a much better place to deal with whatever is to come, even if you don't believe it at the time. And here's a quote from that podcast.
But what I realized was that I had to be that first.
Nice.
You don't get what you want, you get what you are.
Yeah.
And I realized, when I was engaged with that guy, I felt like it was all his fault, but it was really me. He was reflecting me. He was the reflection in the mirror. So all this time I blame everybody else for the demise of my life. And then the moment that I took the self-development class, your words create your world. Your words create your world is what I stepped out with. And I realized, oh my gosh, it's me. It's my beliefs. So, here I am dating this guy, and deep down inside, I thought he didn't think that I was enough. And so, of course, my beliefs are so powerful that I created moments for him to prove that to me, to prove to my subconscious that, yeah, he doesn't think that you're enough. And it's just like, it wasn't until I switched all of that and I completely started to accept myself fully, even my past. Like, I'm open about my past. I'm open about the party days. I'm open about the mistakes that I made. And there's no shame, no guilt attached to that. I own it. I take accountability for it. I'm responsible for it because I created that. And the moment that I knew that, well, if I created this demise in my life and all this crazy drama, then I can totally change that around the same way by using my mind. So like the one thing that I tell myself now is that use your mind as a gift, not as a weapon. It's one of the most amazing, powerful things that we're given. And yet we don't utilize it to its full capacity or in its right capacity.
It's incredible too, because, I talked about two things that you said in there, which I think are, pivotal to where you're at as well. But a couple of episodes I've done recently was, in fact, the idea of the law of attraction. And it's that thing about how you have to be what you're trying to attract first. You have to put that out there basically to others. You have to be the mature person, like you're talking about in a relationship. If you want to find that good man, for example, then you have to be that person to him first so that, you're attracting that sort of thing. And the other idea was the idea of bullies and, how we get bullied, but I don't think anybody really looks deeply at how we bully ourselves, which is what you were just talking about. And it's so true.
I did.
Oh, self-negative talk. I mean, that is, and what's amazing is you talk about it, you believe it. And even you can even create something that isn't even remotely true and start for some reason believing it. And all of a sudden it becomes true, even though it never happened.
It becomes so real.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Now, for me, negative talk tends to linger. It's the same like with horror movies. Like, I still to this day remember images from like The Ring that really creeped me out, or from The Exorcist. Negative talk, it just kind of lingers there. It just kind of stays with me. But I've heard somewhere the metaphor of using a dimmer switch, dimming that negative talk and increasing the positive chatter. Challenges and obstacles, this is how we improve. Earlier I was talking about mistakes. Those mistakes can be painful. Working through the pain, that obstacle, that challenge is what makes us turn pro. Dealing with resistance, overcoming a challenge is what makes life worth living. I heard a recent interview with James Altucher, once again, James Altucher speaking with Tucker Max, where Tucker Max said a quote where he said that if you're going through hell, you got to keep going. I've also heard this statement over and over again on various podcasts, this other statement where it says, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is where the growth happens. Robin Sharma said in another podcast to do things that scare you. He said, everyone is doing the easy thing, but how many are doing the hard stuff? The exception can be a situation is too negative. When do you just cut your losses and move on? Case by case basis, right? These negative feelings, these mistakes, these frustrations, challenges, obstacles, they're all blessings in disguise. Speaking of hard times and going through challenges, obstacles, frustrations, go onto the blog and sign up for my email list, and you'll receive immediate access to a free small booklet that I put together called Be Resilient, where it can give some tips and some techniques and some maybe mindset suggestions of how to go ahead and deal with tough times. Because once again, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Thanks once again for listening.